Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everybody. I am your lovely friend Zek, here to discuss on the Big Brain Boogaloo episode 2 with Astro and a specific guest feature, good old Jazz.
Hello. Sorry, I have the charisma of a doormat, so I apologize in advance.
Yes. Well, listen.
I sound very charming while typing online, but physically talking, it kills me inside.
It's a different story.
So. Yeah, it's a completely different story.
That's all right, as long as you try, right? We want your effort because, the goal is to have interesting, dynamic, varied, captivating guests to really help get the point across.
Yes.
Charming, witty.
yes, all these things. And so I hope that at least to some level you'll be able to more effectively bring forward what we expect of you. Otherwise your contract will be terminated, madame.
Oh, God.
Anyway, none the matter. I would like to welcome you all because today is a very special day. We're Thursday. I believe we're the 28th of February. And That's very important because what that means is that today and 2 days ago, 2 gigantic Overwatch patch notes hit the PTR with unbelievable changes that have a series of absurd implications. But anyway, that's for another time. So today, Astro and his lovely guest, good old Jazz, and myself will be discussing the subject of Paris, Baptiste, and maybe if we have time, Brigida. So welcome. Where shall we begin?
Well,
I suppose Paris would be a nice stop since that's like the thing that has been on the PTR and also hit live recently.
Yeah, that already hit live, so we might want to talk about that.
Okay, first off, who has actually played Paris?
Oh, I have.
I have not.
You have not. I have
You're
too.
boycotting Overwatch, it's true, so you're...
No, I haven't played it, so
You're doing the Lord's work. You're a good boy.
I've seen the map. Like, I know the layout. It's like, I know there's pianos.
Okay, well, I suppose then in that case we can tell you about it and about how interesting it is and about how different it is compared to other control. It's not a control point map; it's an assault map compared to other assault maps.
Yeah, it's 2CP.
Yeah,
2CP,
and
yeah.
It's really interesting because, like, at least the first point, the choke point is like really small.
Okay, like really small.
It's very reminiscent to Horizon. Except the choke point is even way smaller.
Yeah, and actually you can only go through it on one side.
Oh God.
Yeah, so you can only turn left, which is actually really good because there's like an elevated platform where the enemy team can sit, which means that like this map was literally created to favor Bastion and Symmetra play and Torbjorn, which I'm so down for. Like jump back to.
So what's the main way people break the choke?
Well, I mean, it's hard to tell right now. Like, we're in the beginning stages. I don't know about you, Jazz, but so far I've only played in arcade, so I have no idea what it looks like in quick play.
I've only played it once and managed to play it once in quick play because you're like the map rotation. You know what I mean? You can't really control it. So I've only actually managed to play it once, and the way we kind of did it was we got an Orisa, we planted her right in front, and then we got a Sim. So it worked both ways. So you get the Sim, you get the Orisa, and then you plant the teleporter up near the to the side, and then you just go and hop essentially.
It's very interesting too because the map has 2 high grounds, and the first one, because it's facing the choke, the point is behind the first one. I'm sure you've seen the picture. Everybody probably knows what I'm talking about. You cannot speed boost into a Bastion with your goats comp if the Bastion is set up there. So like,
wow, really?
You have to deal with you have to confront him at that level. So like, there's no way.
It's really odd, this map, because the first part of this map is not goats friendly, but the second part is.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's weird.
But, like, legitimately, you would not be able to go through that choke point if there's a Bastion, and especially now that Baptiste is here.
Yeah.
Like, that's just going to become even more difficult in terms of trying to get a goats meta through that like little part. So, I mean, it's really strange in that regard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that
I think
sounds
that like
interesting.
it's good map design. It's really good map design. Like as far as I can tell, like the points allowing different strategies is good because it will get Overwatch more to that place where people actually switch, which is what the devs have always wanted.
I was thinking the exact same thing. Like it promotes two different types of metas.
Oh, I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped because also like a whole bunch of other changes make it so that now like these defensive heroes like Sim and Bastion and Junkrat are now a lot more powerful. And now that Junkrat can lob 140 damage fucking nades through the choke, like this choke is going to be one of the hardest chokes to break, I think, in the game. And
I'm sure people are going to love it.
Yeah. I hope that they're going to leave it that way because like Eichenwald was the same thing before, but Eichenwald it was too much, right? But this I think it's fine because this like you can't even fly over it because the buildings are so high. So even if you're playing Pharah, you have to go in that kill zone where the Bastion can just melt you.
Or you can go the little shortcut like over the roof. It does leave you very like open, but like you still can get through there, especially divas as well, not just Pharah.
Yeah, the diva play is going to be interesting, especially now with 2-second matrix. I mean, I think that was like a great change, even though it wasn't very nice to diva players. Like, probably necessary.
Honestly, like as a diva player, like I didn't notice it that much. To be quite frank.
Yeah, and I mean, like either way, you get the Lucio thing now, where like if you fly, you just go warp speed.
Yeah,
exactly.
So,
like it's literal. You get yeeted like from one part of the map to the next.
Yeah, I've seen the clips. Like people just lobbing like diva bombs literally across like 2 points, like from the last enemy spawn to the first spawn of their team. Like it's just ridiculous.
Oh, it's gonna make so many good plays on King's Row. Like you'll be able to fling it back if you're like defending and they're like taking the point. You can fling it over all the buildings and
yeah, I literally saw a clip of that.
That's
like
so evil.
Like someone,
Evil.
they were like around the corner where the pub is after first point on King's Row, and they speed boost the diva. She lobs the bomb. It goes over the buildings, over the hotel, and lands in front of the attacker's first spawn. It just wipes them. It was the dumbest thing in the world.
But right, I suppose then, like, in terms of Paris, I think that it's a worthy add-on to the game. I know nobody likes 2CP, but I think that, like, 2CP... I sort of enjoy 2CP because it's one of the opportunities you have to, like, break out some really interesting compositions.
Well, yeah, that's why I like it at least more than Control Point.
yeah, especially in mid to high elo, like 3 to 4K, like you can get away with playing Bastion on a lot of Control Point maps. So I mean, I'm assuming that you like that.
Well, I like it. Okay, so the thing is that like I like when I can pull it off sometimes, because obviously, again, the issue with Bastion is that once the enemy runs into you once, they're not going to do it again. So what inevitably ends up happening is, like, sure, I can stop a push on 2CP once, but then after that, I'm almost always dead, and I have to swap. Like, that's basically, like, it doesn't even matter if you move. It's because the issue is that the control points on 2CP are so, like, limited in how you can protect them that it's not going to be difficult for them to immediately point out the Bastion and kill him before he can do anything again. Because, like, the issue with Bastion on 2CP is, like, your advantage is that they're not expecting a Bastion.
Mm-hmm.
So, once that advantage is gone, you're basically done.
Yeah. But I think that, like, on Paris, this is going to be different, because on Paris, like, you can't speed boost into the Bastion. And the Bastion, also, now that Orisa can bob and weave, lots of people are predicting that she's going to, like, shoot up in popularity. Because that ability to bob and weave with her movement means that she will be very easily able to outduel people in a lot of situations.
So, I'm trying to visit...
It just means... Oh, sorry. Keep going on.
I'm trying to visualize this. So, the Orisa buff makes her go the same speed as D.Va when she's shooting, or is D.Va
a little bit faster?
It's roughly Brigitte. Do you know when Brigitte has her shield up?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it's brick shield
Oh,
speed.
Kind of
wow,
that
it's
speed.
that fast? Holy shit.
Oh yeah, it is. I've seen it. I've seen videos of it. It's delicious.
The horse
love
is
it.
finally
Certainly good.
fast. Or at least
Yes.
faster.
The like little teaser that she had, like, do you know the announcement? Where they're,
Yeah,
like,
that's what
you
I
know,
always
she's
talk
like
about.
stomping and going like, yeah. It's
The
finally
illusion
come
of going
true.
fast.
Oof. But now with the Lucio speed boost nerf, everybody's going to be going a little bit slower. Anyway, that's not the point of this. So Paris is nice. I'm happy that you've played a Jazz. Astro, once you've played it, I'm sure you'll find the exact same thing that we found, which is that it's enjoyable, but it obviously isn't enjoyable when you're playing it in arcade, because, you end up with 5 DPS, 1 support, the support usually being you.
Yep.
But once it hits...
But, like,
I'm excited
other
to
than
play
that,
comp.
it's like, other than that, it's actually very enjoyable in terms of, like, it's not going to change people's minds on 2CP. If you hate 2CP, I don't think this map will change your mind. But if you think 2CP is fine and, like, it's competent, then you'll actually end up enjoying yourself on this map, I think.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, keep in mind that you're talking to someone whose 2 favorite maps in the entire game are Horizon and Junkertown, so...
Oh, jeez.
Exactly.
Okay, well, I can respect that. I've always been an Ilios man myself, but
Oh, Ilios is my least favorite. I hate that map.
love Ilios. So good. It makes me so
Oh, I
happy
hate
when I hear
that
the
map.
music, dude.
Oh, the music is great. The map itself is awful.
Right. So Baptiste, the big white elephant in the
Oh boy.
room.
Yeah.
The meta-shifting, meta-defining, game-altering hero. Let's not call him game-breaking just yet, because there's nothing really game-breaking about his kit. Even the invincibility thing, like, really isn't as hype as people think it is. Like,
I mean, except for the fact that Mercy Mains literally got their shit kicked in, and
Oh
yeah.
my
and
god.
the dirt spread on their face when invincibility
can I just
field
say-
came out.
Can I just say, as someone who came up with a similar idea as immortality, like, field as an ultimate, I had so many messages, like, calling me a whore, calling me a mercy main, calling me an e-girl, etc., etc. Oh, the smugness I feel right now. The validation. Oh my
God. Just,
well, it's a really
It's as if-
good effect.
it's just the blessing of Xavi upon you, basically.
Oof.
Yeah, it's as if Jeff Kaplan himself came to me in a dream and went, "You are blessed," and I went, "What?" And then I woke up the next day, and there he was.
Oh, Baptiste.
Oh,
So-
beautiful man, love him.
Baptiste.
Mwah.
Baptiste.
10 out of 10.
Baptiste.
He's like a skinny Doomfist with hair.
Well, no. I mean, yes, but no, he's not, because the character is more of a damage hero than he is a support. I would say that he is not a main support, and that Kaplan lied.
Really? Because I think the amount of healing that he puts out is quite heavy. Like, because you have to keep in mind.
I would put him on Mora's level. You know what I mean? Of, like, he simultaneously does damage and heals a lot.
Well, what you have to remember is that Moira does, I think, 80 per second with her spray, and and Baptiste does 60 per grenade. Plus,
which is 75 per second with
Yeah.
the fire rate, yeah. So it is a lot of healing. I'm not
It's a
saying
lot
there's
of
not
healing, and it reloads super quickly, and you can animation cancel the reload super quickly, because literally the second he takes the drum out of the gun, the ammo
he's reloading.
replenishes. So you can cancel it
Yeah.
almost immediately. And you can
This is
cancel
certainly
it
very
with
interesting.
the healing pulse thing.
Yeah, the healing pulse, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to call him a main support, because I think that he would work better played in conjunction with someone like Ana. But, like, I can see his utility with the Lucio speed boost being even more powerful, or even, like, Mercy. Like, him and Mercy make a very good duo for, the team fight never ends.
But I mean, we also have to think...
I said that, like, he probably has the most potential with Mercy in terms of synergy, simply because it's like a complementary thing of, like, they both enable damage heroes, of course, in different ways. Baptiste with his AoE healing, Mercy with her, like, single sustain target healing, and then you have the damage boosters, of course, and, the res and the immortality field. So I feel like both of them really do play off with one another.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially in terms of mobility as well. That's something as well we have to keep in mind.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
Also, like,
the thing I was thinking with like Baptiste was how, compared to Ana, it's actually not that huge of a gap of damage output. It's I think smaller than people think, because people don't really seem to realize that Ana actually does a sizable amount of damage. Like she hurts when she hits you with those damage over time darts. Like that.
Oh, that
shit
is
hurts.
True. I do agree. I think it's just the fact that like it's not instant, that you have to wait, and that like that's where the illusion comes around that like, oh, Ana doesn't do much damage. No, she actually packs a punch.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. I want to say 70. I think.
Yeah, you're right. It does 70.
Yeah, it does 70 per shot, which is that's not tickling. That is the same amount as McCree.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
with a slower fire rate, of course.
Slower fire rate,
it's still powerful. Very powerful attack, and also the fact that they become hit scans when you zoom in. Ana's always been very, very good, and I really wonder how the game will shift now that Baptiste, the one who faces the wrong way in the hero select screen, has been added.
Oh god. Low key, like that's my one biggest critique is that like that just one little.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm literally triggered. Like it gives me.
Flip it, please. Flip it, Blizzard.
It's unbelievable. How dare they do that? It's such a violation of the law of aesthetics. It's like really. Also, another thing, like, will they keep letting the hero select screen zoom out more and more, or will they take a diagonal orientation soon?
I think.
Oh god, I really do hope they like change that hero select. Like it's like, having the damage healers, like, it's like, how can I explain it? It's like this huge gap. It's like Moses, with the...
Yeah, the Red Sea.
The parting of the waves.
Yeah, no, I think... I'm trying to think of what they could do. Because I think what they're going to end up doing, inevitably, is that, first of all, I don't think that, in the long run, the conventional roles are going to last, I think. I think that over time we're going to see something kind of like what League of Legends has or something like that, where it's like the heroes are categorized by like tags instead of like overall like categories, right? Because you have
snipers in one area, snipers in one area, tank busters in one area.
Yeah.
You mean like that?
Yeah. So you have like main tank, main support, utility support, so on and so forth, right? And I think what they're going to end up doing is I think that we'll just see, first of all, I think they're going to start layering the hero select. So you'll have like a top row and then a bottom row, which will be a nightmare to navigate, but knowing...
Well, not if it just like does like it does now. Like if you just like hold a direction, because remember on PC you just click, right?
Yeah.
So it's only the console plebs that suffer, like us, from having the really, really long hero select.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I think that's probably what we're going to end up seeing anyways, so I'm not too worried.
Baptiste is interesting, and I'm excited to see his effects on the metagame. A lot of pros are speculating that he's going to change a lot of things, which is good, because Overwatch needs this, or it's going to fail. As
if it's not already on life support.
Oof.
I think it's actually very interesting that like Blizzard decided to do this. And I know this is going to sound weird, but they decided to do this after Overwatch League has begun.
Yeah.
I don't know if Overwatch League was just their wake-up call, or like they had this plan, or like this is just how like the scheduling worked, but like it really does surprise me that like we have suddenly gotten this big of an update right spank in the middle of like season 1, like the
first stage.
The season 1, but like the first stage.
Well, like Jeff Kaplan himself even admitted to like not being too privy to what is actually going on in his game, right?
No, he's not. That's not his job. Which everyone makes the mistake of assuming.
And so when he said like, oh, we didn't expect people to one trick as much as they do, the answer of the community was literally look at any other MOBA. The only way you can effectively rank up in most MOBAs is by one tricking or like category specific mastery, right?
Yeah.
Because it's too difficult to learn all these heroes.
Yes, because
it is.
Because the issue is that
especially if they're this diverse, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
in terms of kit.
The what I've always said, right, is that although Overwatch looks like an FPS, like it's a first-person shooter, it's only actually a first-person shooter below like 3K. Above 3K, it's a MOBA.
Oh yeah, of course. Once the skill stops mattering, right? Because at about 3K, you have the mechanical skill that you need.
Yeah.
Once skill stops mattering, it becomes really about like your ability to work as a team, which is very obvious, but for some reason people don't know this.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like you have to be able to like use everybody to on your team as a teammate to your advantage. Otherwise, you're not going to win. And so like obviously like people get stuck at low elo, and this is the problem with the elo system. Some people are better than their elo, but because of their inability to, you know, like control their teammates, which they find randomly in solo queue, you know, like who was it that said it? It was Jane that said that you'll just lose a third of the games that you play in ladder just because of your shitty teammates.
Yes, that's true. And you'll win a third of your games because of your teammates, regardless of what you do. So
yeah, exactly. So it's like, you know, like there's way too much variance in that front, I think, for us to like expect. I mean, they're changing the matchmaker, which they said, so that's good.
Yeah,
and also they still have that mysterious social feature that we're all waiting for.
It keeps getting pushed back. Yeah.
Right.
Wasn't it like spring last year that they mentioned it?
Yeah,
yes.
It was spring last year. He said it would be here late summer, and then
Jesus,
he
a
said,
bit tardy.
Yeah, and then he said it would be. Then he said it would be in the fall, and then he hasn't said anything since.
Well, no, he did say something. He said, well, like, we can't do this quickly because, like, yeah, no, he released a message at around New Year's, so I remember this. It was Kaplan that talked about how this is why we don't put a release date on things in the future, because we don't know the hangups that we'll have.
That's why they use soon TM.
Yes, soon trademark.
The Blizzard soon.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
The Blizzard soon. You know, even they have embraced that meme.
I know.
Like
yeah.
Twitter all the time.
I think in many ways their polish is what kind of brings them to their knees, because it just takes forever to get anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they just want it perfect. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, in some ways yes, in some ways no, because I think it's very evident when you look at Overwatch's patch notes that they're pretty scuffed.
Which ones? Which ones? There's 15
usually,
million of them.
Like usually, like the patch notes we usually get, like they're pretty scuffed. Like it's just like these random number changes that they throw in instead of actually fixing anything. It's ridiculous, and I'm not. Okay, well, I do name names. It's Jeff Goodman is just so fucking incompetent at what he does that just this shit just happens constantly in any game he works on. Like, it happened with Heroes of the Storm too when he worked on that. Like, just the balance is just an absolute disgusting mess.
LOL.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
yeah,
as far as
I can't argue with that.
I can't
But
either.
in terms of Baptiste's kind of like balance, honestly, I can't really say if he's overpowered or not. And maybe this is just the fact that it's early days.
Yeah. I don't think...
Or like or else he's just such a complicated case because there's so many other changes coming right after him.
Yeah.
It'll be very hard to assess what happens to the playing field.
Yes.
Like, the Pharah damage boost is, like, it's really ridiculous. Like, the Junkrat Pharah power creep, like, they're really trying to kill tank compositions.
Which is going to present its own issues, I'm sure.
Oh, yes. Because now, like, 2 direct impacts from Pharah kills, like, 24 of the cast?
Yikes.
Yeah,
So,
much.
wait. Let me think. What did they buff about Pharah again? It was the...
Okay, it looks like we're gonna have to talk about the patch notes then. So you can add that.
Okay.
You can add that that time mark
Yep.
It's very difficult to try and not talk about it. In fairness.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
it is.
We don't know what the changes are going to do, obviously, and we realize that they're probably going to put more changes forward. Like they put 2 series of patches through this week onto the PTR.
Yeah.
But Pharah's direct impact damage has been raised, so that her total damage is raised to 140, and the same thing is true for Junkrat.
Junkrat. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me think. That's 280. So, I mean, to be fair. Oh, right, because it was 140 before. Or sorry, it was
120.
Yeah, it was 120 before. So that means it would have been 240, which wouldn't have killed Reaper and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And May and stuff like that. So, yeah, wow, okay. I see what you mean.
Like,
yeah,
Pharah is very
that's
lethal.
huge.
Like, she's gigantically lethal.
I mean,
You see, I think the issue with Pharah specifically is because, okay, there's 2 things. One, there's the fact that like she is the only hero that you have to look up for, if that makes sense. In a game where you look forward.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So that in and of itself does cause a few issues, especially in lower elos.
And on console.
And then
Fuck.
And then like we have to remember a lot of people who were saying like, oh, I don't know why these Pharah changes went through when they like lowered the splash damage but increased the speed of how she like attacks.
Mm-hmm.
People don't realize is because they changed that because in console, literally all of the like top players on each console
are
all Pharah one trick.
Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. It's Zach and I always talk about like, oh, this is what's happening on console, and Zach is going on and on and on about the implications. I just look at him and I say, it's fucking console. No one gives a shit. And to an extent, I stand by that. But it's like the extent to which the game is different on console is not as much mechanical or anything like that, as much as it is what people play. It's ridiculous.
For sure. The meta is entirely different in GM on console.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Or even just on separate consoles as well. Like, if you take PS4 and then take Xbox, they're completely different.
Yes.
They have some trends, but yeah, they do have a lot of differences that make no sense. Like, Symmetra has played a lot on Xbox, and Torbjorn has played a lot on PS4. And, like, I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
But whatever. Like, there's just... The game isn't balanced around console, nor should it be, because console is a strictly casual thing. Like,
yeah.
Having 5K SR on console means basically it's moot. It's a moot point. It's like, okay, great, like, maybe you have game sense, maybe you're mechanically skilled, but, like, go do it on PC. So this is something I intend to do.
I mean, yeah, but, I mean, if you've ever listened to, like, Jane's analysis on that sort of thing, he says that depending on the person, you will likely only change about 200 to 300 SR when you swap over to PC. Like, and he didn't even say up or down. Like, he said you could actually like increase by 300 SR by swapping over to PC if you have the innate aiming skills, but they don't work on console.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's not quite as easy of a conversion as people make it seem.
You also have to consider, especially PS4, especially there, in terms of Smurfs.
I was just gonna think she's gonna talk about Smurfs. It's oh my god!
Damn right I am.
I've heard the horror stories.
Like, do you know the whole like you are as good as the team around you and your enemy team, so you can't really blame
because
your
I
team.
play Bastion.
So it's the same thing, but like you have an equal amount of Smurfs.
Oh god!
On your team. So in many ways, you were
more Smurfs wins basically at low elo.
Oh,
pretty much.
God, that's rough. Wow.
How pleasant. Like at least on PC it costs you $20, so you're less likely to just like, oh, I'm gonna, like, Smurf now.
I mean, I did it for free, but that's because on Xbox you can have like I think 4 accounts share a game, for free or something like that?
Yeah, listen. I'm not going to stand on my podium and say I am a herald of peace and purity. I have Smurfs too.
Oh yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Everybody has Smurfs. You need to have them.
Yeah, I mean that's how I got good at Doomfist. I practiced on my Smurf.
Yeah, you have no choice.
Yeah.
Like people will see that, like, oh, like, you know, this person has silver border and they're still in diamond. Like, oh, they must be so bad.
Oh,
it's
it's
like,
me.
Literally what? Like, yeah, literally also me. Like,
I'm almost to gold border, and I still struggle to stay in diamond sometimes. Like,
oof, big
it's rough.
Ooh.
But like, you know, like playing solo queue.
I think all of my accounts have only just like not the copper, but the
bronze.
first, like, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
I guess if you don't care about the progression and the skins, then like there's no point in you staying on one account for very long. Just play them till you get to 99 and start over.
True.
I guess
that is kind of, yeah.
What a shame that it's come to that. But these patch notes are crazy. Like, they're really insane. And I mean, I'm more excited to see what will happen to Overwatch as a game. And I'm sure you, Jazz, have like given a lot of thought about this. But like some of the things, like the change to Doomfist, which is a very odd thing because like
entirely pointless.
Yeah, like
you know, I said it on the server. I was like, you know, it's not bad, but it's like it doesn't hit the core issue of like you just now go into the moat faster.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I said to Zach. It was like you are unable to do your job more often.
Yeah, and it's not even more often because it's only 1 second. But what I wonder is, are they going to keep reducing those cooldowns? Because if they do, I think that like at 444, like Doomfist becomes really scary again.
Yeah, but I mean, but you also have to remember that his primary ability basically doesn't do anything. Like it doesn't pop people up correctly. It doesn't pull people in correctly. Its range is absolutely nil. It's like, and even when it should work, it half the time doesn't because it's Doomfist, and it's just the game just shits itself, and you go flying off the map or something. So it's just, I mean, that's just that's what Slam is right now.
That makes me think of the Mercy changes. Well, not the Mercy changes, but the boop changes that affect Mercy res.
Yeah.
Now you can like be fucking like kabooped out of res like crazy.
Well, I mean, you could always have that done, but it was difficult, right?
Yeah.
Now it is not difficult.
You know, I said here right on my notes, right? Under Baptiste, I was like, Immortality Shield and Resurrect probably should be on the same cooldown, be it 30 seconds or 20 seconds. Yeah. Simply because both of them are very, very similar, and both of them do have the ability to really change the course of a game.
Yeah.
They're both ultimates on cooldowns.
They're both ultimates on cooldowns. Which is...
Yeah, essentially.
And you know, I feel like the difference, though, of what can make Immortality Field work on a cooldown and what doesn't allow res to work on a cooldown is that it's like how dynamic the ability is, right? Because with res, the only thing that you can do is res someone, right? Like there's not much going on. You fly up to someone, you press E, you stand there for 3/4 of a second. You hope you don't get blown to shit.
All of your tanks leave.
Yeah, you hope you don't get blown up to shit, and it's over with. You know, but with Baptiste and Immortality Field, you can do things like throw it across the map and have it ricochet off stuff, and you can use it for like healing, you can use it to stop an ult, you can use it to do all sorts of different things, and that's what allows it to work as an ability, because it's dynamic. Because the thing with a lot of ults in Overwatch is they're powerful, but a lot of them are not dynamic, right? Like, there's not a ton that you can do with Dragon Strike. It just shoots a dragon down the map, and it goes through everything, right?
Well, now you can have it do 400 DPS if you shoot it through Baptiste's ult.
Yes,
Oh
but
God! Oh, are you serious?
Yep.
I thought it didn't get affected by that.
It's a projectile, is it not?
Well, yes, but remember that Dragon Strike can't be damage boosted.
Oh, it's true. Yep. I forgot about that change.
Oh my God!
Oh
You
my
just
God.
gave me you gave me 15 heart attacks.
Yeah, no, like I was thinking about that yesterday. I was like, oh Jesus Christ,
but
we're
I mean,
going back to fucking grab
Can you-
dragon.
But that's
Can you imagine
exactly
the
what I
Grab
mean,
Dragon?
right? That's exactly what I mean. It's ultimates in Overwatch are generally not dynamic. They are literally just one thing that you can do. Like Soldier's ultimate is literally just aimbot. There's nothing else
Yeah.
you can do with it. It's just aimbot.
Well, now
McCree's
you can
ult.
destroy Junkrat tires.
Yeah, I mean it's like, but the options that you have with it are limited.
Of
What
course.
makes a normal ability with the power of an ultimate work is if it has enough ways that it can be used and enough situations in which it can be used without support from other things around it to make it dynamic and valuable, right?
Mm-hmm. Hey, actually, another note on McCree's ult. I'm sure you noticed in the recent PTR update, the one from last night, that McCree's ult now insta-kills basically after 1.5 seconds.
Really?
Oh Jesus!
Oh
yeah,
no.
it gains twice as much damage. So that means that you have like 1.5 seconds. So like in the first second, you know, it goes from like no damage to 90 really quickly.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then in between
Jesus.
1 and 1.5, it goes from like, I think from like 90 to like the 200 ranges, I'm pretty sure. So you can like one-shot
Oh god.
the squishies, which is what it used to be, sort of. Like you'd wait 2 seconds to be able to kill everybody.
You can just
Now
insta-gib the moth even faster
Now
now.
you still have to wait. But now the damage cap, I think, is higher, because now like you start building up 275 to 550 damage per second to stay in the ult. So like if you stay locked onto like a Reinhardt through his barrier, you could probably like kill the whole team through his barrier if you wait the whole duration.
Oh my god.
Like I want to see some testing of this.
Listen.
I'm not sure how the interactions work, but this sounds really cool.
The thickness can't even
Listen,
stop this. Oh my god. Not even the thickness can stop this absolute monster.
Imagine a reliable
Oh my-
source of 3,000 damage per
I know.
shot.
Like I could just imagine Roadhog just sitting there vaping, just like completely fucked over. Like
Yeah, it just gets erased.
the thickness cannot survive the onslaught.
No one can. Like literally, like when you hear it's high, you just like accept your date. Your
You
fate,
just
and
accept your fate.
you start writing your will.
Exactly.
There's no point running anymore.
Oh my god.
Unless you're behind a shield, I guess, in which case you back up with the shield and then you hide in a building before he hits the fucking over 2,000 damage. I think that's
Well,
how
yeah,
that
but
works.
then it
I'm
just
not sure.
breaks the barrier. It just
Oh, I'm so excited to
it
see this in
shatters the
motion.
barrier because we have to remember is that, you know, and this is something that they always say about, like, if you have a Reinhardt on your team and there's an enemy McCree, if the enemy McCree uses High Noon, do not go behind Ryan's barrier if you can avoid it. Because what happens is that it targets through the barrier, like the Deadeye targets through the barrier, so the more people behind Reinhardt when the ability goes off, the more damage goes into the barrier, because it will take damage equivalent to the damage that everyone behind the barrier would have taken.
And so now if it's like gaining 550 DPS,
Yeah,
then you could like, after like, I think what, like if there's 3 people behind that barrier and you wait 3 full seconds, you should be able to destroy the Reinhardt barrier with the first and second shot and then insta-kill someone regardless
Yeah.
of whatever is affecting them.
exactly.
Even if it's a Roadhog that's vaping.
Exactly.
Oh no, it won't kill a vaping Roadhog.
Well, it'll
like
kill
we-
it'll kill a Roadhog though, not a vaping Roadhog.
Yes, that's true. That's true. 1,100 damage, what the fuck?
Guys, I am like literally like sitting here like sweating at the thought.
No, jeez. I quiver
I'm
at the
I'm
sound
like
of
gross
volume.
sweating. It's like my heart's beating really quickly. The thought of it.
Just
Yeah, well,
Oh
no,
my
no, fair, because like the McCree, they reverted a bit of the Fan the Hammer change, so it back down to 50, but not to 45.
yeah.
So like that's probably for the best, but like this High Noon
To be
change, I
honest-
think, will be good.
to be honest, I was getting real sick of like, just standing there and all of a sudden the McCree just like flash banning and then just being like,
the flash
yeah, you're
ban?
dead. You're dead for
there
no
you
reason.
go.
Oh god. And like legitimately, like because it's PS4, like everyone's doing the fan of the hammer. No one's like
No, exactly.
No,
no one's using the regular.
Fan the hammer is still better than shooting now, even with the 5 damage reduction.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's good.
Oh, yeah,
As
that's
long
really
as you can
good.
aim it.
Oh.
Well, I think that this was much more expedient than we thought. So I guess maybe we have tantalized our audience enough for them to be ready for more of us in the future. Perhaps we will do a soon to come part 3 where we discuss.
We're only at 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Not
Are
even.
we?
Yeah, we're only at 40 minutes.
Not even. We're at less than that.
Yeah, we can keep going. It's no big deal.
But I mean, I don't have anything else to say about these 3 subjects, and I think maybe it's best for the purpose of expediency if we pass it on and prepare more for a follow-up where actually discuss these.
But I don't think we've completely gone over Baptiste, though. We've only gone over like a couple things he does.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, what's really relevant about his kit, right? The gun is great. Sure, 25 per shot when you 3-round burst is good because you can 1 burst to tracer.
Yeah, like, okay,
but the delay is sizable. Like,
but you don't understand, Zach. Do you know what the significance of that weapon is?
Oh yeah, it completely eliminates our Bastion solution off the table.
No, it doesn't. Well, first of all, no, it doesn't, because you can have the same thing. But I mean, look at Soldier and Bastion. It's pretty much the same gun. What I'm saying is, we literally have the BR from Halo in Overwatch now.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like coming home after like a decade away.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah, I looked at the gameplay and I was like, oh my god, holy shit, I'm on lockout. I'm on lockout.
Literally
it's
the
2005.
Oh my god.
I'm sitting in my basement with my old ass Xbox and the tiny little, marshmallow TV with the giant back to it, and I'm sitting there on my couch with my 5-year-old face in the screen with the BR on, just hearing kids scream at me over Xbox Live. Oh my god.
Oh damn. That does invoke a sense of nostalgia. I guess this is worth, having a little addendum to my fake finale there, because like that weapon is sick. And like also the fact that it has the grenade launcher for healing is also a really cool concept. And 60 healing per shot is nothing to laugh at.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing, like it's very much like an Anna situation of like he changes a lot of stuff in one go, and it's really impossible for us to say which is overpowered, which is underpowered, how to use him, etc. etc.
He's too complicated.
That's true.
It's far too early, and it's far too much to actually do it in one sitting. Unfortunately.
Yeah, and I saw this like crazy thing where the healing burst is not actually an aura; it's simply a status effect that it gives. Like if you don't remain in the aura after it's activated, you'll still get the effect. And the other thing I saw is that his boots, right, can literally be used. Yeah, they can be used for crazy shit. Like you charge it and you walk off a ledge, and you shoot someone with the gun, or you heal someone, or you activate like an ability, and then you can just bounce right back up, back to high ground. It's nuts.
Like I said, it's very much like Baptiste and Mercy do go very hand in hand together, simply because they have similar ways of doing things, but like they have the same goal, but different ways of doing it.
All I know is that Baptiste is probably the first healer in the entire game where I've looked at them and I've been like, I really want to play that. Like,
it's all the gun, man. It's all the gun.
It's literally the gun. I literally just saw the BR and I was like, I'm playing that. 10 years of muscle memory served me well. So, yeah.
Well, the fire rate's different, though. The fire rate's different.
The fire rate is different, but it's very similar, right? Because the BR, it was ba-da-dum, 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 It's literally in my head. I remember it. And this gun looks like it's slightly slower, which isn't a big deal because, honestly, it's still 10 years of muscle memory, so it doesn't matter if there's a slight difference in fire rate.
You hear it in your sleep.
Oh no! Like the rhythm of the BR in Halo is so ingrained in my mind. It is like a heartbeat. It's incredible.
It's a heartbeat.
It really is. Like I can think of it perfectly. I can think of the sounds of the BR from every single game too in my head. But I also remember I like the Halo 4 one the most. I think that Baptiste is a hero that'll really make waves. We just don't know how yet.
I'm excited. It's going to be the greatest.
I am very excited to see how this goes.
I think the last thing we have to talk about is Brig, right?
Oh yeah, we can talk about Brig now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have time.
So
poor Brig.
Oh no wait. Are we going to talk about the things that I found in Paris, or are we just going to leave that?
Oh, you can talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you find?
Do we have time?
Yeah. No, we have plenty of time.
We can leave Brig to another video anyway. I think only having me one Brig main in a video is not a good way to talk about.
Well, yeah,
Brig,
but I thought we were going to talk more about the stuff with Matilda Medius.
Okay, well then we can say that as a footnote. Poor Matilda.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. Okay. No. This legitimately got me so mad.
Yeah, same.
Like it. I'm sorry, but okay. For those who don't know, it's like on Twitter, the whole delete Brig thing has gotten a bit out of control, and now it's to the point where Matilda, the voice actress of Brigitte, is getting like death threats, people calling her fat, people saying that she's ruined the game. Those sort of comments.
We've all seen this before, so
yeah. Hey, Cavalry, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, like when I see these type of messages, my soul starts to ascend in anger, and it goes so far it returns back to being serene.
Yeah, yeah. The Irish blood boils so hot it just burns everything around it.
Don't, honestly, legitimately, if you think like messaging a poor woman, a voice actor who has absolutely no control over the balance of the hero, how the hero is designed, the game overall, you genuinely, I need you to close your laptop or your phone or whatever. I need you to go outside. I need you to take in some air. All right, leave like all your negativity and anger through your feet, and just go out and talk to someone.
Yeah,
or just make friends. Have
really,
a walk.
like, it's unbelievable the level of like, I don't know how much of a fool you'd have to be to believe that like you can do anything. Every time someone does something like that, all they do is sow the seed of chaos in the world and make things more difficult for everyone else.
Yeah.
It's like, how could you possibly think that the outcome of this could be positive? All you're doing is making a private citizen suffer unduly because you're arrogant and upset and adolescent. Like, grow the fuck up.
Like, Matilda is literally just a 21-year-old woman from Sweden who has sometimes bad anxiety. Like, I don't see why you're attacking her.
Yeah, let the girl be. Come on. Unrealistic.
Just, you know what? It's the point people are like, are so wrapped up in the game that they don't realize that like it's a game.
Yes,
at the end of the day,
it is a game.
At the end of the day, you can literally play any other games.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
If you don't like Overwatch, it's okay. You can play other things.
Yeah, go play Apex Legends, or better, like, go outside.
Go outside, or just do what I do, and just like, just pull a game you haven't played in almost 6 years out of the mud and play it constantly.
Yeah, that's a more reasonable assumption, especially assuming that, like, I guess if people are, like, addicted to Overwatch, they're gonna not just stop playing games one day to the next. Yeah. Anyway, regardless. What'd you find on Paris?
Oh, okay, so recently, right, there was... Okay, all over Paris there are posters advertising two different plays. Two different operas, I should say. Now, this, mind you, I made this discovery just before Baptiste, like the day Baptiste was announced. Like, I did this before, like, if that makes sense.
Yeah, a few hours before, I remember it.
Yeah. So, exactly what I found was two operas at the being hinted at as a possible ARG for archives involving an Omnic rising within Paris.
Okay.
And if I'm wrong about this, this is still amazing, like, environmental storytelling on part of Blizzard.
And it means that you're literally a detective, Jazz.
So, just a brief rundown. So, there is I'm gonna mess up this name so badly, and I'm so sorry. Cadmus and Hermione by Jean-Baptiste Lelay. Those are one of the operas being advertised.
Okay.
Now, this opera is a love story between Cadmus, who is a known founder and the first king of Thebes, and his wife Hermione, and she's a goddess. I'm not going to get into it, but that's all you kind of need to know on that front. Cadmus is the man who brought the writing and the alphabetical, like what we know of the alphabet, to the Greeks. So he's the supposed origin. He's also the supposed origin of these people called the Spartoi, which is kind of like Spartan. You can see the connection.
Yep.
Who are mythical people who sprang out from the dragon's teeth sown by Cadmus after the defeat of Ares' son, who was a dragon. It's okay, and they helped rebuild the city. So you might think to yourself, Jasmine, what crack have you been smoking? But I swear,
I'm sure the whole Discord wants some of that.
I swear this does actually.
Discord link in the description. Hop in.
Oh yeah, I absolutely will. It'll be there.
Oh yeah. So what I've discovered was, okay, so pi is the 16th letter in the Greek alphabet, and if you actually look at Maximilian's design, you actually notice that there is a pi on his lapel. Yep. Like a little pin. Then there's the interesting connection. So, like, obviously Maximilian is French. He's a French Omnic.
Yes.
So I think, like, the Paris connections are already there, that you can see where I might have drawn the line.
Give me my man.
Give us the Omnics!
I want him. He sounds amazing. I always have described him as, like, a combination of, like, 007, James Bond, and, Delvito Corleone from The Godfather, but a robot.
Oh, please. Please. Do you know what? Actually, low-key, I am a bit disappointed that Baptiste wasn't an Omnic, because don't get me wrong, I love Baptiste. He is a beautiful man, but it's kind of like Omnics are such a big part of, like, the plot, but it's like there's only 3.
Like, let's be entirely honest. Like, all of the really, like, all the characters in Overwatch that seem like the, like, most, like, pure and, like, the purest of souls, they're all Omnics, right?
Yeah.
So
it is, and they're Omnics who are very low on the lower side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, except for like, I think Bastion is like, Orissa's OR14 skin is like, and like the Null Sector skin. Like, these things are good examples of, like, the lore being not the defining factor of the character, but the character having components of the lore in their kit. Like.
True.
I mean, I just
anyway.
I just want Soundquake. I just want him to be a robot, but voiced by Terry Crews.
The dream.
Alright, continue, Jazz.
But anyway, so there's the obvious connection of Cadmus and Maximilian through the pi symbol. But it gets even more interesting if you connect the police station, which shows, like, all the wanted Omnics. and I counted this. There are 5 Omnics being viewed in that in the station.
Mm-hmm.
There are 5 Spartai in the story as well. So I thought those were very interesting connections, and then I learned that the Roman numerals, alongside poems, plays, and operas, and they act as like the scenes and act number and scene number, use Roman numerals. So I suddenly just went, oh, okay. So it was just like a lot of coincidences suddenly like piling up on one another.
They said they were working on 6 heroes at like the last time they said they were working on heroes, right? And one of them was Baptiste.
Yep. And one of them was Echo.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We know
Echo,
2 of them now. Echo and Baptiste.
Echo isn't supposed to be coming for... Well, they said she wasn't going to be Hero 30, so maybe 31?
I think 31 is probably going to be a tank, but 32 is probably Echo. I think that's likely.
Maybe. But another play is, or opera I should say, is the Dialogue of Carmelites. This one's a lot shorter for me to explain. It's basically a bunch of nuns who, during the French Revolution, refused to give up their faith and are therefore hanged for it. And recently, that day that I discovered all of these connections to the plays, then Luna came out with the voice lines saying Mondata was a regular within her cafe. So if you don't know who Luna is, she's the Omnic in the attacking spawn. Okay. So you suddenly get this idea of like, oh, so there's so it's clear Maximilian has something to do with the 5 Omnics, which is even highlighted with the "Thank you, Voss," like written note on the Baptiste teaser.
Yep.
As well. So like, you can imagine how far gone down the rabbit hole I have become. Like,
I can see that. You're almost
like
at the
mess.
flat Earth level.
Yeah, there's tinfoil hats just strewn all over the ground.
Listen, I did say I have the like charisma of a mattress.
Listen.
Do you honestly
you're
think?
Probably right.
That's the thing. You're probably right.
Conspiracy, and like when it does break, and this video gets like 1 million views, and people like pros clip the segment where you're talking about it, like, that'll be great for you.
I will send like the little notes I have to you, Astro, in case like my voice or like whatever is a bit weird or something, and then like people can read it properly. Because like naturally, I've been trying to like shorten it.
I'm gonna
post.
I'll post the whole thing. It's very interesting. I've read it, so
we can share it in our Discord.
Yes, we can do that.
Discord.
It's a fun time. It's a little weird, but it's a fun time.
Oh, it's very weird. I almost don't know what to do half the time.
But
like the meme level's too strong. Like.
Oh yeah, no, it's crazy.
Oof. What a community.
It's a fun community. We have a good time.
Oh.
So,
and I think that's it on my side in terms of the operas.
Yeah, I don't see anything else. What about you, Zach? Anything you want to plug or something?
No, I've got no addendums. I think now is the appropriate time for a conclusion instead of preemptively. This has been an interesting one. I think we're going to have a part 2 of this part 2.
Now just call it part 3, whatever.
Yeah, we'll call it part 3. But we still need to discuss, and probably alongside Jazz again.
Jazz is here to stay. Don't make that mistake.
Oh boy, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. We will have you along for some of the ride, and you'll see if you enjoy it. You can assist us in our future endeavors. So next time, patch notes, break changes, Overwatch League.
Yep.
Sounds good. Boy. That sounds good.
Right. Well,
it'll be a really good shit show. We'll have fun.
Yes.
Honestly, this was like the worst time I could have ever joined a podcast, because it's like my first time on a podcast. It's like
you did fine.
This much to talk about.
You did fine.
Don't worry. There's only like 96 people subscribed to this channel anyway. Nobody's gonna see it. Anyway, Astro, say your catchphrase so we can end this.
All right. Well, Godspeed you all, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye bye.